parents, and welcome to Kindness Milk. I'm Regina, I'm a midwife, international board certified lactation consultant, mum of 5, and I usually cover all things breastfeeding here on my YouTube channel. So if you like this kind of content, hit the like and subscribe button. I'd really appreciate your support. Today, however, I thought we'd do something a little bit different, and I take you along for a chat with me. A chat about a question that I get asked a lot, and the question is, how do you get things done with a baby or toddler? And to be honest with you, I haven't figured out this wholly myself. This is something that we have to adapt to each time that a new baby has joined the family. But I thought I could share with you just a few things that I have learned over the last 13 years of being a mom to 5 children. My oldest is 13 and my youngest is 1. So as we've had 5 children in the past 13 years, we've always had a child younger than 3 years in our house. And me personally, I find the ages between 1 and 3 the hardest, because they're on the move. You have to have eyes in the back of your head. You have to constantly scan the room just to make sure that they're safe and that they're not getting themselves into trouble. So I'm going to share with you a few things that I do to get things done around the house, and also be able to give attention to my older children whilst keeping the youngest happy and safe. And some of the things that I will list up, they are common sense, but when you're a new mom or first time mom, or you're feeling overwhelmed and tired, which I do a lot on a regular basis as well, it can help to just have a list that you can refer back to perhaps when you're feeling overwhelmed or tired. The first thing I'm going to share with you is something I had to work hard on. It's really been a lesson for me, and it's a continuous process, is to adjust or lower my expectations. I like to be productive. I would say I thrive on productivity, but I had to realize that there is that things can get and will get done, but probably not as fast as I'd like them to get done. And also to maybe reframe or redefine productivity, especially, let's say, when I'm sitting down breastfeeding a new baby, or my 1-year-old still prefers contact naps, and he sleeps in the baby carrier still quite a bit. So instead of telling myself that, oh, that's a waste of time now if I sit down with him, or if he's in the carrier and I can only do limited things, I tell myself that actually it's really good for his development, it's nurturing, I provide closeness, I provide warmth for his development, and that I'm really doing a great job by nurturing him. On the same note, when he's asleep in the carrier on me during the day, I also learned to say to myself, I sit down and use that time for things like admin work on the laptop, or any paperwork, or even to give myself a break and read a chapter of a book, because otherwise I don't get that time in the day again. And so just to use that time in a different way and tell yourself you're doing a great job. Using a baby carrier or a sling is also a great way for getting some light housework done, let's say like drying the dishes or vacuum the carpets. When it gets to heavier household chores, or what I, for example, find difficult, especially with a baby that weighs more, is to hang out the clothes. so that's quite strenuous on your back. So I would take him out and put him in the playpen, usually within my sight so he can see me and we can have a little chat. Or sometimes if I have to assist my toddler on the toilet, or and clean the bathroom, for example, that's something that he cannot help with yet. So if I know that that's on my to-do list, then I'd give him the attention, give him lots of attention beforehand, maybe do an activity with him, go down on his level and play with him for a little bit so that his cup is full when he goes into the playpen or the cot. So then maybe I'll get 10 minutes, a quick bathroom clean out of the time that he spends in the cot with some toys. Other times when I'm cooking the dinner, I may place him in the high chair so he's almost at the level of the worktop so he can see what I'm doing, and I may give him some cut up vegetables or some breadsticks or something to chew on so that he's entertained while watching me. And the high chair is also a good way of keeping him happy for a few minutes because he's at a higher level, and sometimes I put him in there while the older kids are doing their homework, and I'll give him a piece of paper and maybe a crayon, and he can he doesn't really scribble yet, but so that he gets the idea and he feels involved in what everybody else is doing. I also try and enlist the help of others. So very occasionally we have a babysitter, but that would perhaps be once a month. We don't have family live close by for support, so it's really all between me and my husband. But having said that, whilst on the one hand side we've always had a child under the age of 3 in our house for the past 13 years, we now also have a 13-year-old who can help with some babysitting duties while we're supervising nearby. So sometimes I have to write clients' reports, lactation reports after a home lactation consultation, and I'll have to do some work on the laptop so my 13-year-old can watch him in the background, and that works quite well for some time as well. Obviously not 4 hours, but it's really a blessing as well to have older children who can help out a little bit, and some of the younger ones, so my 8 and 10-year-old, they like to play on the trampoline with the 1-year-old as well. We kind of just need to supervise that they're not bouncing too much, but the trampoline is also a great facility that keeps the 1-year-old happy for quite some time, and especially with an older sibling on it. One last thing I wanted to share with you, which is less to do with what you do with your baby or toddler while you get something done, but more to do with how you can make things easier around your house, especially in a big family with 7 people in the house, is to regularly declutter and go through toy bins, sort out any broken toys, just throw them out and pass on anything that they don't play with anymore. And the same goes for their clothing. So just when you rotate clothing between the spring and summer season, just to regularly go through it. Like we have 4 boys, so I often keep clothing for the next boy, but just to scan it and go through anything that's worn and you think like, oh, you're not going to put that on the next boy, that can go as well. So these are the things I do and use on a daily basis to manage a household with 7 people. I'm usually at home during the day with my children. I take them to school, and then they're here with me after school, and the 1-year-old is here with me all the time during the day, and then I may have a breastfeeding support visit in the evening or at weekends. So whilst I try not to put too much pressure on everybody, including myself in the family, there are certain things that have to be maintained, and so these are things that really help me to get through each day. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I don't have this all figured out, and sometimes the 1-year-old is unhappy being placed into the cot for 5 minutes, but that's just life, and I'm continuously trying to improve it and to make it more doable and workable, and it's something I'm figuring out constantly. So if you have any tips that you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments below. I'd really love to hear from you as well. And otherwise, until next time,